Hello, reviewees! Welcome back to our ongoing exploration of the fascinating world of fallacies. In our previous lesson, we have discussed the logical fallacies and its types. Today, we will continue our journey by focusing on fallacy in the language. Fallacy in language refers to use of deceptive or faulty reasoning in communication. It involves the misuse or manipulation of language to support a weak or illogical argument. Understanding fallacies in language is crucial for critical thinking and effective communication. Recognizing fallacies in language is a fundamental aspect of critical thinking and effective communication because it helps individuals identify and avoid misleading or illogical tactics. By understanding these fallacies, one can engage in more rational, well-informed, and persuasive discourse, ultimately fostering clearer and more meaningful conversations and debates. A fallacy in language refers to a mistake in reasoning or the use of flawed arguments. It involves using language that may sound convincing but is actually misleading or deceptive. Fallacies in language can often be identified by logical inconsistencies or manipulative techniques. So it equips individuals to identify and challenge misleading or illogical tactics, enhancing the quality of their interactions and the strength of their arguments in various contexts. Fallacy of equivocation happens when a word is used in different meanings. Example: all knives are sharp. This vinegar is sharp. Therefore, this vinegar is a knife. The fallacy of equivocation, which occurs when a word is used in different meanings within the same argument, leading to a false or misleading conclusion. In the given example, the term sharp is applied to both knives and vinegar, but in different senses, resulting in an illogical inference that the vinegar is the knife. The fallacy highlights the importance of precise and consistent language in arguments to avoid ambiguity and ensure that conclusions are logically sound. Amphiboly is the ambiguous or unclear use of not just a word, but of a complete sentence because of faulty grammatical construction. In the provided example, the sentence structure creates confusion, as it is unclear whether the umbrella or the old lady has broken ribs. Amphiboly illustrates how poor grammar and sentence construction can lead to misunderstandings, emphasizing the importance of clear and precise language to avoid misleading or illogical conclusions. Fallacy of accent happens when there is a faulty emphasis of words in the sentence. Example: Mary says Jane is cheating. The fallacy of accent occurs when a sentence meaning is distorted due to a faulty emphasis on particular words within it. In the example provided, the emphasis on Mary says Jane is cheating can give a different meaning depending on which word is stressed. This fallacy underscores how the interpretation of a statement can be manipulated by changing the emphasis, highlighting the importance of clear and ambiguous communication to prevent misunderstandings or manipulations. Fallacy of composition happens when taking together what should be taken separately. Example: each atom in this chalk is invisible, so this chalk is invisible. The fallacy of composition occurs when one erroneously infers that because individual parts of something possess a certain characteristic, the whole must also have that same characteristic. In the example provided, it is incorrect to conclude that the entire chalk is invisible just because its individual atoms are. This fallacy emphasizes the need to differentiate between the properties of parts and the whole when making arguments, as they can differ significantly and assumptions based on composition can lead to misleading or false conclusion. Fallacy of division happens when taking separately what should be taken jointly. Example: all eggs in this basket cost 200 pesos. These eggs taken from this basket, so this egg cost 200 pesos. The fallacy of division occurs when one mistakenly assumes that because a group or whole has a certain characteristic, each individual part or element within that group must share the same characteristic. In the example provided, it is not accurate to conclude that a single egg taken from a basket, where all eggs cost 200 pesos, must also cost the same amount. This fallacy emphasizes the importance of recognizing that the attributes of a whole may not necessarily apply to each of its parts, and making such assumptions can lead to erroneous or misleading conclusions. Figure of speech is due to arguing from a similarity in word structure to a similarity in meaning. Example: the opposite of finite is infinite. The opposite of tense is intense. The fallacy of figure of speech occurs when an argument relies on a similarity in word structure to imply a similarity in meaning, even if the actual meanings are different. In the given example, the word structure might suggest a pattern of opposites, but the actual meaning of finite and infinite and tense and intense are not necessarily opposites in the way the argument implies. This fallacy underscores the importance of not making assumptions based solely on linguistic similarities and highlights the need for a deeper understanding of the intended meanings. And that's it for our lesson on fallacies in the language. In our next video, we will shift our focus to fallacies in the matter. So stay tuned and we'll see you in the next lesson.